All right, welcome to the Top Keys. My name is Bharat Patel, and we have here a good friend of the show, Evans Charles, and he's a hotelier, developer, and I think we've known each other for almost 10 years. Well, when did you get started in the business, and why?
Well, got started in the business around right after the Great Financial Crisis, about 2012 or so. I was just in residential real estate, single families, duplexes, triplexes, four units.
In the DC area?
In Philadelphia, because I went to school in Philly.
Right. Temple.
At Temple,
Right.
Exactly. And then basically, I just heard about a person an African-American person who owned hotels in Miami.
Right.
And I didn't know who this person was.
Right.
So I was literally about to get into multifamily, and at the same time, when I heard about this gentleman, I went to the doctor later that day.
Sure.
And then I picked up the Black Enterprise, and he was on the cover of that.
Right.
And he had a book. And then I just went, I said, wow, who's this guy? And he was from my hometown, Washington, D.C. So then I went to go read his book.
Sure.
And it was the People's Principles, was Don Peebles. And then I was like, then I Googled him, and he was the chairman of NABHOOD. I'm like, what is NABHOOD?
Sure.
And it was this conference that we're at today.
Right. Held annually in Miami. It's our 30th year now.
Yes.
So how many years you been coming?
Yeah, since 2012.
Okay.
Yep. So I just jumped on a plane, came, and when I saw all these folks on stage, people that look like me speaking about owning hotels,
Right.
I just made a pivot, and I said, that's what I want to do. I said, I'm not coming back to the next NABHOOD unless I own a hotel.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So then what was, so you came to the conference, you met a few people. So what was your step? You know, like often you go to a place and it's a life-changing, it's like the movie Eat, Pray, Love. Oh,
Right.
It's life-changing. But then what's the next step you have to do? Because physically, actually, you got to raise the capital, you got to do other things. So what's step number 2? What was phase number 2 for you after the conference?
Well, during the conference, actually, I got to give a shout out to Dr. Jake Patel. He didn't know me from a can of paint. Nobody knew me.
Right.
And I was just trying to get information. He sat me down and started giving me like a little blueprint of things that I needed to do.
Right.
I always tell this story. I'll never forget him giving me that kind of time.
Sure.
But I assembled my whole team at that meeting.
Wow.
So from my business partner, who was another Asian American that went to college with me, and I didn't know him in college, to the franchisor, to my debt, to my operator, to my construction. I met everybody at this one meeting, followed up with people, met my broker as well.
Okay.
And then just started looking at deals. And after just going through.
So it's like a team of 10. Like it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
You got it done in 48 hours.
Well, I mean, the blueprint,
right.
yeah. But then I came back by 12 months later, I had made my first acquisition. By the
And your
time-
first acquisition was where?
It was a tertiary market, a small town called Martinsville.
Okay.
In Virginia? In Virginia,
Okay.
a little bit north of
And what was the brand
Greensboro.
that gave you the first chance?
It was a Holiday Inn Express.
Okay.
It was
so
a Holiday Inn
IHG.
IHG.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. So you must have a little special love for them, right? They gave you the first shot.
Yeah.
So that hotel, I'm assuming it did well,
Yes.
right?
we
and then
got-
going on to the next project, or what is phase 3 for you then? What was 3.0?
My strategy changed.
Okay.
So when I learned through that first small 70-room hotel, these smaller tertiary markets were probably more driven towards an owner-operator and
Sure.
not a third-party operator, just didn't generate
It was
enough
like 80
money.
rooms for something like that.
Yeah, so did like a little over $1 million a year. So
Right.
my strategy changed significantly from there, because the next deal I did was in downtown Atlanta, so it was urban.
Sure.
And it was a conversion from a multifamily to a hotel.
Isn't that more challenging though? Because to me, tertiary markets are easy, you know?
I guess what I learned through that process, it was my first taste of a premium brand.
Okay.
I went from, I renovated something and I made it a Comfort Suites.
Okay.
And when I switched to a Marriott brand and it was the same exact product, and I saw my occupancy and ADR just go up, and it was they were walking into the same lobby, the same room.
Right. We won't tell the brand that.
Yeah, that's when the power of the brands, the light bulb went off in my head.
So-
My strategy just changed.
Right.
And then I said that, and then I sold it, right? And I sold it to an institutional buyer.
Sure.
Their cost of capital is a lot less than buyers like you and I, or regional buyers or so. So then my
So was
strategy.
your cost of capital for that project for you, was it 5, 6, 7% back then? And then theirs is what, 3, 4? Are we talking about
I know
big
back
delta?
then this was 2013. So no, my cost of capital was like 8%.
yeah.
So then the spread between what my all-in cost was and what they paid me, it was still one that, I think we hit like a 3.5x, like a 40 IRR. It was some crazy IRR. We were in and out in less than 3 years.
Okay.
So then I said, this is my strategy. I want to focus on more urban secondary markets, premium brands, top tier locations, and I want my exit to be an institutional buyer.
And so did you acquire new partners, or their partners were in it for once they saw what you could do? Did they stick with you and you went to the next level?
Yes. So my main partner didn't stick with me as a GP. He actually, because him and his family own a bunch of smaller properties, but he put money as came in on a GP, but like an LP.
Right.
Yeah. So he stuck with me from that perspective.
Right. General partner, limited partner.
Yep.
What happened after that, or what's your next?
So
there are big things in the.
Yeah. So no, there's just been growth from there, and just focused. I've done 7 Hilton brands. I've done 3 Marriotts or so. I did my first Hyatt. I'm in downtown DC right now near the convention center.
Okay.
We bought a hotel that we converted to a Hyatt house, and we took a swimming pool and a fitness room, and we converted it to. We separately branded it as a rooftop, and I brought a different operator that operates F&B. And the public knows it as Realm, and they have no idea that they're walking into a Hyatt house because I have street entrance.
So you could have kept something the way it is and still made money.
That's right.
But you decided to reinvent yourself or reinvent the product.
That's right.
Right? But you brought in another expert from the outside.
That's right.
Right? And I think a lot of hotel owners, and this includes, and I'm guilty of this, is we don't believe in F&B. Like, we don't invest the money, invest the human capital, but you can get a tremendous return on investment. Right? And so, but what, like, how did you know that was going to work? I mean, did you learn that in college, or did you meet someone and somebody said, you know what, try this out?
Well, I mean, I know that I'm not in the hotel operations business or any of these. I'm a real estate guy.
Okay.
And no disrespect to hotel operators or so, but when I look at P&Ls, I never look at the F&B line item as all that impressive.
Got it.
My thought pattern was, I don't have any rent. We own the building. It was underutilized space, just a swimming pool and a fitness room.
Right.
So I think I'm already ahead of the game because I don't have a rent payment. So why don't I convert this to something that's money generating?
Right.
I paid all the money to build it out, brought in, a manager to operate who understands F&B. That's what they do all day, every day.
Right.
Their budget number for that was like $2 million more than what the hotel operator said that they can bring in. And we're already beating that kind of budget now.
Wow.
It was my personal experience because I love hotels. I love soft branded, boutique hotels. I love rooftops. And so just from my experience of traveling, I just wanted to bring something different to DC.
So what I liked about what you said, and I'll come back to the rooftop hotels, is that you're a real estate guy that buys and sells hotels. Right. Whereas me or other members that you'll meet, we're hotel operations guys who might hit the lottery, might hit the jackpot, might not, but we love our business. But I like what you're saying is because for the next generation of hotel owners, right? I'm second generation, and my son may choose to be third. They don't see themselves that way, right? So how did you get into this mindset? Was it the company you kept, or was it, picking up another magazine and another medical office, or how did you get to this mindset?
The people that I met here, a lot of the NABHOOD members who were already doing it before me, that was their strategy. Like the Norm Jenkins of the world or so, the Warren is a manager or so. But I've never worked in a hotel. I have no operations experience, and I wasn't trying to go through that learning curve.
Say that again to the camera. You've never worked in a hotel?
Never worked in a hotel. I have no operations experience as far as hotels or so. So I had no interest in going through that learning curve to try to think that I could figure that out overnight and just start directing.
And you don't need that learning curve to buy hotels, right?
I still don't have it. No. And I've been in hotels since 2012.
But you know how to read a P&L.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know how to asset man. I know how to oversee a hotel very well.
Right. And so, this is, I would say I've talked to, thousands of members. When I was chairman of AHOA, when I was regional director, ambassador, I've lived this business, right? And, I think we're not sharing this story enough. Because when we go to a convention and other things, and we've talked we had dinner I think last year, right? We were talking about it, and then there's a certain brand which you were upset about, right? And we eventually get over it, right? We know what's right and wrong in business, right? And so if somebody wrongs us, we're not going to do business with them again,
right?
And we'll let it go eventually. But so what's your next challenge?
I guess navigating kind of the world today, right? I'm in DC. It's not the most popular place to travel to. I have hotels in and around DC.
But it's the center of the political universe.
It's the center of the political universe.
And the media, social media universe.
Yes. But we're super excited. We were awarded a deal about 5 years ago.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. I thought you were going to bring it up, but go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah. So during,
it's 5 years in the making.
But I had to shift strategy, during COVID.
Sure.
Because we wanted to stay active. And then I just said, hey, why don't I start going after these RFPs, public-private deals or so, where we can hopefully, not have carrying costs for acquiring land,
sure,
but have a public partner to be able to kind of work through and navigate any, cyclical, just the economy going up and down. So if things are just sideways or so, you have a partner that you could sit down with and try to get recreative to figure out how to capitalize the deal. That deal kind of sat because of what has happened. We won it when interest rates were zero, interest rates went up, a lot of things, construction costs went up. And then, boom, the Commanders get a new owner.
Yep.
Then they cut a deal with DC, and then they're building their new stadium right directly across the street from where we're doing an AC residence indoor brand. This is going to be all waterfront development, $3 billion. The most money has ever been invested in Washington, D.C. is all being done right around the stadium via mixed use development or so. And our deal is mixed use. It's 7-acre site, sure, it's residential, for sale, retail, hotel. So just being able to, getting ready to get that off the ground is super exciting.
Anything you would say to you when you first came? So if you're coming to the first or second neighborhood, and say you came to the first neighborhood, you saw all the glitz and glamour, but then you didn't really get a chance to make your first deal here. So you come back again the next year, or you go to another conference. What's as the gentleman said before, if you stumble and fall, what do you do next? What do you do to get yourself up?
What advice that I would give, and what I think has been the most valuable thing to my journey and my success, is the relationships. Yes, you want to 100% build your knowledge, but you want to do right by people, and doing right by people and trying to be helpful to other people. Hopefully that reciprocates back to you, because most times I've gotten into jams, which we all get into jams a lot. I pick up the phone and I make phone calls, and I navigate through those jams by people either giving me guidance and advice or people helping me how to navigate those things. And if I didn't have the relationships with people who have the influence and the power to help me navigate things, I wouldn't be where I am. So I would say that's the most important thing, is to build relationships, because, hopefully you can be a resource to other people, because that's what you want to be, because at some point you'll want them to be a resource to you.
How do people get in touch with you if they want to get in touch with you?
I'm on LinkedIn, EVENS, Evans Charles, and my company's website is frontier-development.com.
All right, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it.